Hi guys, today I want to show you my recipe for a really rich and comforting Irish farmhouse vegetable soup. Now, I did not grow up in a farmhouse, but I grew up on a really good Irish veggie soup, and this one is absolutely gorgeous. It is a combination of really simple and humble ingredients sweated together until you get really gorgeous sweet flavor, and then it's finished off with good rich veggie stock, some cream, some peas, and you're left with the most warm and comforting bowl of soup that is absolutely glorious, perfect for colder winter months like these. Now this recipe comes together really easily, but it does take a little bit of preparation. I've got some onions, some leek and potato. I'm gonna chop them up and we're gonna get them into a pan and fried off with a little bit of butter until they're softened and sweated down. I always feel quite happy when I know there is potato in a soup because it adds this lovely, luscious, creamy texture, and it's always a winner. So I've got potato, onion, and leek chopped. We're gonna get into our pot, a nice, heavy, deep pot like this with some butter. And just to prevent the butter from burning, a little drop of oil. Now, as soon as that butter starts melting and fizzing and bubbling, we are good to go. So veggies in, we're gonna sweat these out for at least 5 to 6 minutes until they've softened down, and don't forget to season at this point. There is something so lovely about the smell of leeks and onion frying in butter. It just instantly reminds me of when I was growing up. These were the sorts of dishes we always had. And it's a real sense of home comfort. This is the sort of dish that is just going to see you through winter. Now, the beauty of this recipe is that it is incredibly adaptable, so use whatever vegetables you have in the bottom of the fridge. I have some parsnip, I have some carrot, and I have some celery. I'm just going to peel them, chop them, and get them in the pot. So now that I've got the parsnip, celery and carrot all chopped up, it's time to get them straight in on top of the potatoes, leek and onion. Okay, now we are cooking. We've got all our ingredients in there. It's all starting to soften down, but I want to cook out the root veg. So I have some vegetable stock, which I've just brought up to a nice simmer. We're going to pour that in and bring this all up to temperature. Right, that is our stock in. We are looking good now. So we're going to bring this up to a nice steady simmering point, and once it is up to that point, we're going to cook it out for about 10 to 12 minutes, just until the veggies are nice and tender, and you can check that by piercing them with a fork. The soup has now had a little bit of time to cook out, and my veggies should be nice and tender now, so I'm just going to pull up 1 or 2 of the carrots and pierce it with a fork. Goes in perfectly, which means we are good to blitz. So I'm going to blitz this until it's nice and smooth. Then we're going to bring it back up to temperature, add some peas, add some cream, and give it a really luscious finish. So let's get cracking. Just have a look at this. A really gorgeous, velvety, sort of sunset orange soup, packed full of really great veggies. And at this point now, it needs no more than just a seasoning. I'm gonna check that we've got the flavor right. Oh, beautiful. And actually the peas add a lovely bit of freshness and bite to the soup, so they're well worth adding. And they're a great freezer ingredient, so always worth adding. Just needs a tiny bit more salt and pepper. It's always a great point to make sure you get the seasoning right, so I'm just gonna taste it. That is exactly where it needs to be. It's got all that vibrancy of the veggies in there. It's gone really creamy and luscious, and that's because you've added the potatoes in there. They add a little bit of body and that really kind of smooth, creamy finish. Now this is good to serve. It needs no more. Once you've checked the seasoning, you know you're in a good place. It's ready to rock. So into a bowl, serve it up with some brown bread. I'm just gonna pop on some parsley and we're good to go. Just look at that, a proper bowl of comfort food that is ideal for these winter months. Let's dive in and try some. You know, there are some dishes that just instantly bring you back to moments in your childhood, and this is one that does exactly that. I always remember coming home from school, the windows steamed up in the colder winter months, and big bowls of this being served to the table with brown bread. It is a proper winter warmer, and it is ideal when it gets a little bit cold like it is right now. If you want the full recipe and you want to know how to make this, head over to donalskehan.com. You'll get the full recipe. I'll leave it in the box below. And of course, hit subscribe to this channel to get more delicious recipes just like this one. And leave me a comment letting me know what was your ultimate winter food growing up. And until then, I'm off to tuck into this, so I'll see you soon.